Hey everyone, Young Skeleton over here, and in today's video I'm gonna be wrapping my Rhaldor video series. And let me start by apologizing for not making the videos for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Or did I record on Friday? I don't actually remember, but I was kind of busy, and uh, well, not only I was busy, but I really wanted to get like a high placement as high as I could go. I was aiming for top 100, but as you can see, I couldn't make it. I also had to play raid a bunch of times, and I didn't think I would be able to make it if I also had to record. And you know, when I'm recording my fights, I try to not do like actual uh, placing strats because those are boring to watch. Like just fighting the same guy a billion fucking times and skipping a lot of fights. So yeah, so I didn't record uh, my fights during the last days, but I think I showed you guys most of what's important to show. You know, the first steps. The last days were basically me abusing teams that I had prepared to fight against with the same teams, like with very few adjustments. I didn't really change the teams, only made adjustments to like the equipment, and those were based on like whoever I was fighting against. I didn't do like any huge adjustments that I was thought was that I was thinking would be objectively better. So I guess that with the other videos, you guys uh, can learn how to use that character better. So yeah, I got what you see on the screen was the screenshot that I took, like I think 30 minutes before the arena, uh, the day like changed, and so I couldn't get any more points. So I was like, yeah, I think this is gonna be it. I don't think I'm gonna go down a lot. I didn't go down at all, actually. I stayed at 110th. And yeah, I'm pretty satisfied. I could have done better. And in the last day, I actually could have got gotten like a lot more points because I was fighting at one point, right? I was fighting this mage team and not mage team, this archer team with my anti-archer team. And this one battle, they just fucking did 5 fucking reflexes in a row. I missed a lot of fucking attacks, and that was just, oh my god, how fucked up is that? And so I lost my streak because I was fighting against this archer team. I was like, okay, that's enough. I admit defeat. But yeah, I think Rhaldor is a pretty good unit, but as I said before, I think I said this on my last video, he is not really a unit that you want to be using as the centerpiece of your team. He's very good, but his range is very limited. You kind of depend on Taunting Blade, and you're not always want to get like the attention on him. You don't always want him to get hate. Like versus mages, I don't think it's a very good idea. Uh, but against physical teams, I guess there's no real harm to it. He is very tanky if you build him correctly, and like, he benefits from taking damage. So I don't see why I don't see like him using Taunting Blade as a problem, other than the fact that you depend on having Jesus bells for that, and you also can be fighting the mages. Like you have to be fighting either slash teams or I don't know. He can build other resistances and defense pretty well, so his only real problem is fighting mages, I think. But yeah, let's. This is just the screenshot. I have a few teams prepared here, so this is what I came up with for fighting mages, right? But one thing that I didn't do because I don't have access to that equipment was this. I do have the recipes, but I haven't crafted it yet. So I think that if you're fighting mages, this is probably the best setup for him. Marlboro has magic resistance on the board, and you can raise TP. Uh, I don't think it's that useful, but it can come in handy, especially in guild battle. So if you don't want to do this, you can just do this. He doesn't need the extra ice resistance, but you know, uh, range TMR, so he stays back for a bit, and he also buffs his other teammates. He's gonna be faster than Rain no matter what. So you only need Ildira to cooperate. But in any case, like you're aiming for himself, like you want him to get the magic resist buff, the spirit buff actually. So it's fine. Here I use the barrier version. I wouldn't go for the accuracy version. Like he doesn't really need it. 20, like if you manage to max the dexterity, that's already good accuracy. And you're not really trying to fight like evade magic teams. And if you do, you can swap this out like this. Okay, so let me explain another thing. Like when I do these, like the empty slots is what I consider to be like flex slots. Like in Miranda, here you can use like Water Ring, you can use Soul Thamasa, you can use like I don't know Wolf Mask if you want accuracy. But these slots where I put something in is where I believe that it's the best for this type of situation. So yeah, here we're fighting mages. So I want this for fighting mages for him. And for Rain, I think this is the best. You could probably swap this out for something else, maybe. But I really like this here. Just because it, for some reason, Ring doesn't really prioritize casting, not fucking, the hate skill. He doesn't really prioritize that, so I tend to avoid like TMRs with skills unless it's a huge map. Um, and yeah, here in the cards you can kind of do whatever. Most of the time, like what's important is this card, and you can even put it on Rain and give him like a different card. Uh, like for her, I would say that most of the times Winter Holiday Party is the best, just because most mages also do AoE. But you know, maybe I don't know, maybe you're fighting against Halloween Raryu or what's his name, Hallet. So you do want in that specific case to use this card. And maybe if you're fighting both, you don't really need this card because Drain Evocation isn't really the main worry. Like when you're fighting them, it's more like Hazard Slash. But yeah, and maybe you can even run this on Rain instead and still run Winter Holiday Party. And here you run Odin for extra damage for him. But yeah, and here this team is actually, let me get one more thing clear. This team is for when you're fighting mages with Agrias. Like uh you have, let's make something up, what's her name? Sakura, Agrias and Mediana, whatever. Rhaldor is here specifically to nuke Agrias, and this is why I'm using Kaiser Knuckles here, because his only job is to explode Agrias, and he doesn't need the extra agility. He's already fast enough with this, so yeah. This thing was pretty useful just because Sakura was so popular. So I always saw like Sakura plus another mage, maybe Sakura Killfei and a tank. So this was pretty good for that type of fight. This is a super solid team, and if you don't want to run Ildira, or if you, I actually think Ildira is better than Leela in this specific comp, just because she has Spellblade sub and she can cast Resist Magic on her teammates. But if you don't have Ildira specifically, you can run Leela and run her sub White Mage for extra heals and full life. It's also very good. What else? Let's move on to my other team, my anti-archer team. And here's another like flexed comp. Like Rhaldor is a pretty good damage dealer, and I was only actually using him here because he gets like good damage and he's tanky enough. But like he's not really optimal to use against archers, I don't think so. Um, so yeah, like here you can swap any of these out. Like if you want a more offensive team, you can take Whisper out and put Ramza. If you want a more defensive team, you can swap Victor out and just use him instead. And again, I'm only using Rhaldor here because he's a bonus unit and he's good enough for fighting versus archers. And so, yeah, like if you take Rams out, he can wear both. I mean, if you take anyone out, Ramza wears both armor and cloth, so he can wear any equipment. If you don't have platinum robe, this gets harder to use. Like, but if you do, like this comp is super solid. Here I'm using Victora with Venera's TMR because as you saw in my videos, she would often get destroyed. You can use either the heals or you can use Zombie Rario's mask so she revives and explodes someone with Dragon Dive or uh, one of her other jumps. Victor is good in this map also because of her move. She gets pretty good move. Oh yeah, Whisper is. I don't think she has jump 2 yet, right? Yeah, she doesn't. So Ramza is also a bit better in that regard than her. It's another reason why I didn't use her in my videos. I was like, she has weak jump and she depends on taunting spell to get. Yeah, she has to run Spellblade. She depends on taunting spell to pull aggro. So I was too afraid of like my other characters taking too many hits. But yeah, maybe you can like just remove Victor and use Ramza. Both good options. But yeah, she gets like 80% missile resist, which is pretty strong, and everyone else like 56 and 55. He would get higher, but I only have a +4 of this, so I just set it to +4 so I don't so I don't like have a bigger number here than I actually have in the game. Oh yeah, for passives here, Warrior Spirit for defense and Thief Lore for more move, because you want to get in their faces because they'll just stay back uh, and keep shooting. And here I didn't like select a weapon because I think that both Mithril Claws and Kaiser Knuckles are good here. Mithril Claws give you extra agility, which is pretty useful. Back in the day before Kaiser Knuckles were released, uh, Cat Claws were way too hard to craft, and I don't think like it was good enough. Like you only have 3 extra attack here, and like the evade is not really something that you care about, and you lose critical rate. Like this piece of gear sucks. It really fucking does. I think, yeah, the M version you have 2 aim. What the hell? Like I never even saw this. So yeah. So back in the day, people would craft Mythical Claws just because it was like the assault. No, actually, you lose damage in the assault version. What the hell? Or like you gain only one. We have 116 attack in the assault version. You get 5 agility, and in the assault version, you also get 5 accuracy. So I don't know what's the deal with that. But yeah, I had a Mythical Claws crafted, so I use it. I don't think it's that bad. Like you lose a lot of attack, like if you compare with the assault version, like 180 versus 116, 170, whatever. Uh, but you gain 5 agility, which can be relevant sometimes. Like here, he's already really fucking fast. He's fucking zooming in here. 92 agility is really fucking fast. And mainly you're getting that because of Odin. And I wouldn't use Golem here just because, what's her name? Luatha is so common. So yeah, really solid. Like in a different map, maybe Whisper is better. But in that map, like that we had last week, I think we still have it. But yeah, in that one map, I think Ramza was better. So yeah, my final team, this one, was pretty fucking good. This team. Uh, Also, you want this instead of the platinum rod, but I don't have it crafted. I have the recipes, but I don't have it crafted yet. So yeah. But this is better, like strictly better than the platinum rod, I think. Uh, but this is a comp that's made to fight. I don't know. Physical attackers in general. If you have like a cane, and you can just use. Where's that? Yeah, you can use like Behemoth to compensate for the low agility. Or like if you're just fighting regular slashers, you could just go for uh you could remove one of these cards. I would remove this one, I think. Maybe this one actually. You can remove either one of these and use Horns First Division instead and get like excellent results. Like the armor that you use for each character varies, like depending on like who you're fighting. If you're fighting slashers, you just go for 250 Lacerna or 3 if you have access to. You can also use Black Robe just because it gives so much defense. Wolf Mask if you're fighting evade units, or like if you're like me and you build the shield version, 14 defense is pretty respectable. But yeah, this team is just solid because here it's actually kind of like the first one where you're built to fight mages and he's here to explode agrias. Here's the same thing. Like these two are here to kill everyone, and he's here actually is just as a insurance versus agrias, just because she's such a ass unit to fight against. I fucking hate her. But yeah, like this card slot is super flexible. You can use anything here. Blades of Grass for more accuracy, Chocobo for extra agility. Uh, these two are actually pretty flexible too. I would say that most of the time you want these two, so Kilfei and Raryu just explode your enemy. But if you want to replace either of those, it's fine. Here I'm using Odin on Raryu just because it gives him human killer and slash resist. The other aspers that I think are good for him would be Cactar and where is it? Am I insane? Oh yeah, and Igaion here. But Igaion gives magic resist. You could spec into pierce resist if you want him to. If you're gonna fight what's the name of the fella? Kane. But otherwise, if you're not fighting Kane and you're just getting and you just want to go for slash resist, I think Odin's better. I don't know like what does Cactor have? I don't think he has any resistance. He has magic and magic attack and man eater. Yeah, he's just like fully offensive. Oh, here you would remove this actually and go straight for the human killer. And I don't know, earth resistance because why not? You could also go for this if you just want him to be as offensive as possible. But then you just avoid wind units, like you run from them like the plague. Because as you can see, like I mean, this team you already want to avoid wind units in general. So maybe there's no harm in using Cactar instead of another Esper. But then I think his agility is yeah, 11 agility is kind of rough. For Killfay, if you want her to be faster, you can, of course, from Shiva. Ramuh's also pretty good. But yeah, these are the teams that I have used. And again, he's mostly in my teams to kill Agrias, which is fine. I'm not complaining about that. Uh, and like what's cool about this team and this team is because sometimes like Agrias is a natural magic tank, but sometimes people just go for like physical defense with her, and if Rhaldor doesn't kill her because she is so focused on physical defense, like then your mages can just murder her. Oh yeah, this I would also recommend running Paladin here and White Mage here. But yeah, here you can also run whichever one you want between Kaiser Knuckle and Mithril Claws, and his armor is also pretty open, just like their armor was. So yeah, I hope you guys have learned something with this video series. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching my fights, and I plan doing similar things in the future. Uh, Again, I was focusing on the raid because I really want the Pierce Resist accessory, especially because due to work and other personal life stuff, I didn't get the +5 of the Bale Berganet. Oh, and I was so upset about that. I really wanted the +5. And I was missing like fucking 10 recipes for the +5. So yeah, that was very upsetting. Same thing happened actually with the Wind Spear for Kane and is it the Wind Spear? Let me. Yeah, the Wind Spear I also missed by so few recipes, and the RNG was just not with me. And I also didn't farm as hard as I could because I mean I was farming manually that quest, but I think like looking back, maybe I should have farmed the regular quest with auto more often. Just because like it would have been just better to do that. Like I would have gotten more medals because in the end I think that I had a surplus of boss tickets and I didn't use them all. And consecutively, that led me to not consecutive, consequently, that led me to just not using all my draw ticks, not getting all the draw ticks that I could have gotten. Yeah. But oh well, you live and you learn. So yeah, this raid, I think I'm gonna really be able to get the +5 of that, and I'm pretty happy with that. Um, I wish I could get Christmas Victora. I really want to get a sniper, and I don't have Nivlo. But I'm gonna resist. I'm gonna try my hardest to resist pulling for her, just because I really want to get Titus and 9S to level 120, and I don't know how much Visior I'm gonna spend for that. Like I don't know how much Visior is it gonna cost. So I'm gonna be really conservative and keep my resources to myself. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys soon. Bye bye.